Alright, so I'm starting a new series called Hit That Shit Saturday. Every Saturday during June, I will be bringing you all a new video on goal setting, mindset, and just kind of figuring out where you are in this whole pandemic thing. The purpose of it is to help people who feel like they're just kind of lost in this limbo that we are now calling life, and trying to get back on track or figure out what they want to do in general, especially for people who are starting a huge life transition, such as graduating college and entering the workforce like I am during this time. If that sounds like something you all are interested in and you want to follow along, just know that there's also going to be homework. Don't worry. It's just a couple of worksheets and they're all going to be free and listed down in the description box below. If you're ready for it, let's hit it. Hey, it's me, it's Dee. Welcome to my channel, where you all get to follow me around on my attempts to adult. As I said in my intro, this is Hit That Shit Saturday. Welcome. If you are new here, do not forget to subscribe. If you like this video, go ahead and like it. And if you want to comment a goal that you have or a goal that you can no longer do because of this, I encourage you to do it down below. Stay tuned to the end if you want to know what this week's assignment is. Or if you want to be a cheater, you can look down in the pinned comment because I'll also put what time I start talking about the assignment down there. But just know that you're breaking my heart and I don't appreciate it. But like I said earlier, this is going to be a series, and the first part of this series is going to be about finding the balance. What in the world is finding the balance? I'm glad you asked. So, as I said in an earlier video, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? I really don't know because time is currently fake. But either way, in one of those things, I referenced one of the memes / tweets that are going around talking about if you don't have a perfect body or a new job or a great credit score or a trophy wife or some sort of maid / husband person, then you are currently failing. Because it was not that you didn't have time, it was that you were lazy. And I can't tell you all how annoying it is to see that, because I don't think the people who are posting that understand the amount of privilege that they have in saying those things. However, on the other hand, there are also the people who are just kind of sitting around and moping and being upset about this whole pandemic thing. And they're just kind of sleeping in and drinking all day. Speaking of drinking, we have some white Zen joining us today because I felt like it. And that's honestly not the best either. Like, complaining about the situation when this is kind of it. Like, it is what it is. It's ease. What's its ease? For now, just isn't actually going to help anything. And while we're in quarantine, is honestly the perfect time to work on more of the personal goals that you have, especially if it has something to do with meditation, spending more time with your family, just kind of really enjoying life. And that's why I'm super excited about this series, because it's going to be a bit more abstract than typical goal setting videos, because a lot of goal setting videos are about setting hard deadlines and meeting them. And while I don't think there's anything wrong with that, that's just not going to work right now. That is not finding the balance at all. And the reason why that is because we really don't have control over anything that's happening right now. Like, we don't ever technically have control over what's happening, but like right now it's amplified. And so I really think that we just need to throw that whole hard deadlines and being hard on ourselves for not meeting certain standards that we put on ourselves away. You need to give yourself grace. And I struggle with that as well. It's such a big issue, and perfectionism is a beast. But that just means that I'm going to be doing this along with you all. And I just realized that I forgot to say this in this third recording of this, but none of this has been tested before. So I apologize that you all are my guinea pigs. If you hit the like button, that was you signing the waiver. I'm sorry you didn't read the terms of agreement, but I don't make the rules. But don't worry, because I'm going to be doing it with you too, so I am also my own guinea pig. We'll see how this goes. But I just think that it's really, really, really important to give yourself grace in achieving these goals, because you really can't control how they're going to be, especially a lot of the ones that we're going to be focusing on. And obviously, I think that these tips and these activities that we're going to be doing over the next 5 weeks can be applied to a wide range of types of goals, because it's going to be all about looking into yourself, figuring out what makes you happy, what makes you tick, and what you actually want to do with life, which is obviously so important if you're actually going to be able to be happy with the goals that you're setting. I think that's super important, because if you don't know, I'm really, really, really into finding a balance between things, because if you don't have balance, it's just like
that you could.
Here's the balance, and then here's the world. And obviously that's not working. And so, like I said, with those two personas that I was talking about earlier, the overachiever and the not giving a crap, finding a nice balance is really good, because a lot of people feel that they need to be one or the other, and they don't. You can definitely practice all the self-care and pamper and love on yourself all that you want, sis. Especially if you really don't have anything else to do. Yes. But at the same time, I think it's important to realize that we also have a lot of extra time now. And obviously everyone does not have extra time. Having extra time is definitely still a privilege, as it was before, but even more so now, because a lot of essential workers don't have that option. And I do realize that there's a lot of people who are on unemployment or who are currently unemployed. And for those who are on unemployment, luckily, until the end of July, they've upped the amount that you can get per week for unemployment, so I think that's pretty cool. But I'm just saying that we have a lot of extra time that we can be putting towards our goals and towards ourselves. Now, some of the goals that I want to look at are definitely more so within and just kind of trying to figure out what makes you happy, but I think that that paints a bigger picture into what you actually want to do with your life. By knowing and figuring out what makes you happy in the short term, you can kind of figure out how to amplify it. And this is actually weird, because it's kind of the opposite of what I usually do, because I usually start big and kind of break it down into a much more narrow idea and stance. But I decided to switch it up a little bit, just because I think that this is easier to grasp conceptually. So like I said, every week we're going to be doing a different activity surrounded by a different topic. And this week's activity is going to be a life audit. And what I mean by that is that for the next week, you're actually not going to do anything. But not actually nothing. What I mean by that is that you're not going to be changing anything. All you're going to be doing is going through your normal day, however you would typically spend it, and you're just going to document what you're doing. So you're going to write down what time you're waking up and going to sleep, how much time you're spending on social media and other forms of electronic entertainment, such as your phone, your TV, or your computer. Sorry I didn't have a TV to pick up for you. My bad. I'll think about that next time. You're gonna write that down. You're also gonna write down how much time you spent offline, just in general, just kind of enjoying reading a book, being outside, something like that. And then also how much time you spent being productive. But in addition to that, you're also going to write down who you talk to each day. I think that one's a really important thing, just to figure out if you are contacting all of the people that you should be contacting. And again, like I said, this week you don't necessarily need to change anything, but since this is on your mind, you might find yourself gravitating towards trying to feel better about the things you're writing on paper. But remember, this is just for you. So don't think about it as like kind of a competition. Think of it more as the first week of wife swap, where you're just kind of experiencing the other family for the first time. Okay? Okay. But we're going to take it a step further, because right now it just kind of feels like a habit tracker that you would see in like a typical bullet journal. We're going to take it a step further by actually writing down how these activities and their durations and times make us feel. Although I would say that I made these worksheets pretty big, like someone with pretty large handwriting I feel could write on it comfortably as long as you don't give it to a 2-year-old, but it's not enough room to actually journal out all of your thoughts about a particular activity. So I've made a little section for you to have a key at the top, and you can follow along with what I'm doing because I actually have little symbols, and I don't want you all to judge me on how they look because I know I'm not an artist. I never said that was my forte. But in addition to these little symbols, you could also do alphabet A through F on how you're feeling, or you could do a number scale, anything that's gonna make it the easiest. This isn't supposed to feel like a chore, it's supposed to feel like something that is just another part of your day so that you can do it quick and easy, because I know that if it takes a lot of time, if it takes a lot of energy, you're gonna be less likely to do it. And obviously that's not gonna get any of the results that we want. Fill this out because next week I'm going to be asking you all questions about this. And that is going to be my test to know whether or not you actually did the homework. Because clearly I'm a teacher in training. If you don't answer it, then I'm going to just know that you didn't watch this video all the way through. Or that you just don't like me. And in that case, I just want to know why you're still here. Because you made it really far into this video to not like me. And that's just kind of sad. But anyway, guys, I hope you all found this video helpful. I hope that you're excited about this because I am. These are things that I typically do when I'm goal setting anyway. And so I'm just kind of making it more actionable. So I hope that you all enjoyed this venture into my planning process, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!